My name's Carol Vincent and I'm here because I'm a former health worker. Should be retired but can't afford to actually. But I'm here to support those people who are propping up an NHS that has been hailed as the best NHS in the world. People have looked to us to develop their own health centres. And basically what's happened over the last 30 years, but particularly over the last 20 or so, the end of the 90s, starting with things like Blair's PFI contracts, private financed initiatives, massive loans with high interest. That's where a lot of money has been going. It's been going into the drip privatisation of our NHS. You know, a nurse leaves or a healthcare worker leaves, they don't replace them. They encourage there to be early retirement taken, and they shut a bed down, then they shut a ward down. They don't replace the staff in the back services. Well, those back services like admin are very important. We are thousands of physiotherapists and radiographers short. We do rely on migrant workers, and it's been an absolute disgrace what's happened in migrant workers having to leave our NHS. There are recruitments going on in the Philippines, which will not stop, but it means those nurses who are coming over are not coming over to have a better life in our NHS, which they hoped for. They are coming over to work more and more hours for less and less pay. They are worn into the ground, and our own nurses who were trained here, who've worked here for years, that's the same. But it's not just the nurses, it's the junior doctors, it's the cleaners, the porters, it's the security, it's all of those people that hold up our NHS. And it was built when we had the largest GDP after the war, and they had the vision to say we will have a national insurance system that will allow us to be giving a health service from the cradle to the grave, free at point of access. Because everyone says we're lucky to have it free. Well, it's not free. We all pay into it, and we are all workers, and we will either be born in the NHS, be treated in the NHS, or die in the NHS. We need to save it, and we need to use our last breath to fight for it. And that's why I'm here, because we will fight for it, every one of us, and the Tories be put on hold, because we are coming for you.
What's your message to Rishi Sunak?
Sorry?
What's your message to Rishi Sunak?
My message to Rishi Sunak is that you need to get your ministers not just to sit at the table with the nurses, but to look very carefully at all of our NHS services and make sure they are fully funded. Not money going in the front door to be paying the interest on the PFI and other loans that you're taking out to build new hospitals around the country, but to actually fully fund our NHS in every department for every person, so we can lift our head up, Rishi, and say we are proud of what we have built and what we have got. And you are from a migrant family. Your family have worked in health, and they must know that this is an absolute disgrace. I nearly swore there. An absolute disgrace that you are allowing this to happen. So get up off your backside and make sure the nurses and health professionals, the bus drivers and all of the other workers, the postal workers, the firefighters are paid a decent day's wage for a decent day's work. Or mark my words, you won't be in your job very long, and the Tory government will be history.